customers, they start to realize that the kind of investment that Amazon is making in its security is hard to match for any other company in the world. So security becomes a really important selling point for AWS within those organizations. I'd like to invite on stage David Villiers, the CEO of Zapper, to talk about how they are using AWS.
Thank you very much, Brendan. We are Zapper. We're a mobile payments application that is designed, let me just do this. There we go. That's good. You know this? Yes? Some of you have seen it? Yes. Okay, good. I'm glad to hear that. We're a mobile payments application that wants to transform e-commerce, or transform commerce. We want to bring the power of e-commerce to the commerce world, to the bricks and mortar world. So, like a good startup, we have a audacious goal that we chase, and that is it. We also have a startup myth. Any good startup has a startup myth. Our startup myth was inspired by Star Trek. So the one day we were walking, and we were talking about Star Trek, and we were saying to, we were talking about Captain Kirk, and when he presses the communicator on his left hand, and he says, "Beam me up, Scotty," he doesn't just communicate with the enterprise, he invokes teletransporting. So I'm not saying Zapper's got teletransporting cracked yet, but what we want to do is we want to take the power of e-commerce and give it to the bricks and mortar business. We also realized, so what we realized is that in the hands of each and every one of you is a highly powerful and connected device, and you use it for communication. Shouldn't we use it for something else? Or sort of somewhat more, can't we do something more special with it? We also realized and understood that there's a new way of doing business, and that business is e-commerce. Now, when I sell a website, compared to buying a restaurant, when I sell a website, I know a few things. I know the name of each and every customer. I know their lifetime value. I know the cost per acquisition of that customer. I know the process or the sequence that they went through to get to the point where they were enticed to make the buy decision, and I understand their funnel performance. So I know a lot about that. When I look at a bricks and mortar business, I know turnover, I might know gross profit, and I might know net profit, and I need to make a buy decision amongst these businesses. So what we want to do is we want to transform that. We want to give bricks and mortar businesses the power of doing business like Amazon, using Amazon Web Services. So, if you're a Zapper merchant, you're empowered to build a knowledge base, a database, a knowledge base about your clients, about your loyal and valuable clients. You understand their patterns and you understand their history. And what you can do with this information is you can develop insights, and that insights will help you to create your product and make your product appropriate. And you also have a platform to target these consumers and entice them. So when we started, just telling you quickly about Zapper, when we started by putting QR codes on bills, and QR codes facilitated donations. But we really found traction when the first time we put it on a restaurant. Now, I think the reason for that is that people feel much more inclined to try something new when they've just eaten a meal and they're paying a restaurant. Nobody likes paying bills, right? So that's when we saw early adoption of this new pattern. And but it's also difficult to put a dynamic QR code on a restaurant bill because you need to talk to point of sale companies. Now, the first time I started talking to point of sale companies and I told them about this bright idea, they laughed at me. So, and laughed me out the building. So what we needed to do is innovate. So we found a way to intercept the data that is being sent between the point of sale and the printer. And we intercepted that information, we interpreted it, we augmented it, and we fired to the printer. And that's how you got your QR code. So within a few months, point of sale companies started phoning us and saying, listen, my clients are telling me we integrated. And I said, well, I was at your door and I really would like to be integrated with you. So now we are integrated with point of sale companies. it just shows you what you need to do sometimes to be a startup. You need to try everything. Yeah, so in terms of, well, what I need to tell you before we go here, in terms of, physical integration is not our biggest challenge. Our biggest challenge is social integration. We need to convince business users that there's a new way of doing business. And we need to convince consumers there's a new way of paying. When you talk to a restaurateur, he's not excited about big data and customer-centric market segmentation. Okay? He buys a restaurant because he likes food or people. And we need to convince end-user consumers that there's a new way of paying. Now, we convince consumers there's a new way of paying by becoming fast, by becoming reliable, and by becoming secure. And this is kind of where Amazon comes into the play. Okay? We use the Amazon platform to be highly responsive, to be highly agile, and to respond. We use the products available, so I've got some products up here that you might know. We connect to multiple gateways and banks in a secure way using Route 3. We use the ELBs, and we use every means necessary to stop ourselves from DDoS attack. I haven't got enough time, but I can tell you that sometimes I DDoS myself, and I have to protect or Amazon protected me from myself. These things happen when you start out and you don't know what you're doing on this powerful platform. We obviously use the storage to grow our business and to provide insights. We use big data to understand insights for our clients, and those insights enable us to provide our merchants with the information that enables them to design interventions that convinces them to behave differently. So we're basically taking the power of e-commerce and the way you do e-commerce, okay, to the physical world. We also move money between consumers and merchants every single, across the world. And moving money between merchants and consumers takes, you need to comply. And you need to comply with a lot of regulators, you need to comply with a lot of laws, and you need to be sure that you meet those compliance and retain those compliance. So using Amazon in that way is helping us to maintain that activity. Creating a useful application that's sticky and stays on your phone and adds value to both businesses or merchants and consumers is enabled by doing these things with Amazon. So I obviously scale up and scale down as people burst. As all of you are going to go out and use Zapper tonight, I might need to scale up tonight. I don't know, Enriquez, you need to check that. Variable cost is that when they all finish and they've gone out of Cape Town, I might have to scale down a bit to save some money. Nolan, please can you check that? We need to do effective routing because we connect to our business partners around the world. We live in 14 countries, and we connect to business partners, payment gateways, banks around the world in a secure and effective way. So let's make sure that we keep that way. Our security is imperative. We are looking after customers' data, and we are looking after end users' data. So POPI rules and everything related to that is everything that we do. And then obviously we need to be fast. So we distribute content to the mobile phone across the world in a way that we feel local, although we do it only here from Cape Town. Zapper wants to transform the way we do business. Resistance is futile. Thank you.